Hi, this is Stacia, and we're going to take a look at another training game. I'm still on the mission to get to 1700, and, well, maybe you see that I'm 1 point away. That is very surprising to me. I just started trying, gosh, probably maybe 10 days ago. So I've had a string of wins, which is unexpected, but I'm pretty thankful for that. It hasn't been without blunders though. So I don't feel that good about it, but okay. I guess even 2000 players, even 2200 players make blunders, so maybe I shouldn't feel that bad. Okay, sorry, I'm babbling. Let's get started on the game, shall we? Okay. This game was e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. And here, I like the move bishop to c4. This is the Italian game. I added this to my repertoire this year. I used to play the King's Gambit before this, and d4 before that. Okay, and against bishop c5, which is one of the moves I face, the other one is knight f6. I like to play Evan's Gambit with b4. Yeah, and this is a very respected gambit, so therefore I have to play it, because I love giving up a pawn. So he took my pawn, which is the best move. c3, and now the point is, while black's moving their bishop around, they're going to have to move it again too, probably here. While they're doing that, I'm going to build a very strong center and castle and then start making threats. Bishop to a5. This is the main move. And I went d4. I also sometimes try queen b3 here, but I think I like d4 a lot better, to be honest, because, well, here's why. We'll check with the opening book too, but the thing I don't like about queen b3 is the move bishop to b6. I know this looks funny, but black is preparing knight to a5. Except, okay, they can't do it yet. Okay, sorry about that. So after here, okay, let's do this right. Bishop a5, queen b3. Yeah, queen e7 is the move. Okay, defend the threat first. But then I would either play d4 or castle. Okay, let's say d4. If they take and I castle, black now can play bishop b6, and the idea, there's two ideas behind this move. Like, number one, the bishop sometimes hangs on a5 and there's threats, and we could pick up the bishop. I don't remember how to show it at the moment, but the other reason is to prepare knight a5, and I don't like losing my light square bishop. Usually it's way harder to attack after that bishop is gone. I had a friend named Cisco at the Lakewood Chess Club who told me this is the attacking bishop. You don't give that bishop away. And I still believe that to this day. Okay, let's get back to the game. So I didn't go queen b3. Instead, I went to d4 immediately. This is the main line. And my opponent played knight f6. Okay, and I see it has a name. It's called the LaRoche variation. I don't think I've faced this move yet, but it just looks so suspicious to me. We're gonna see what the computer thinks. Yeah, it says white is doing quite well after d takes e5. That is what I thought too. This is the first part of the game where I had to think a little bit. But isn't this just a pawn and a tempo on the knight? Like, so I think knight f6 is just like lack of foundation. You can't put your knight there without calculating d takes e5. So, I played this move. I was expecting knight to g4. And they played this. Knight takes e4. So I hate to make another lack of foundation video, but I guess 1600 players don't have foundation. I guess that's true. When I first got to 1600, my foundation was way more lacking, and I'm still building it. So I thought here for a while, because this just seems like you can't play like this against a Gambit. You can't just go pawn hunting like this in the opening. Okay, so I started looking at moves here. I mean, if I go queen b3, I think they castle, and black's probably better. Yeah, and that's true. So I started looking for other stuff. Again, castling. I think black castles. So we need something really forcing here. And that's what led me to the move queen to d5. So this, well, it attacks f7, which is something you always want to do, like in Evans Gambit. Like Grandmaster Simon Williams says, you know, you give up your b pawn, you play c3, d4, castle, and then you attack f7. He says that's the order of operations for Evans Gambit. So I skipped a move, but for good reason. Queen d5 is the best move, and it's a fork. How does black save their position? I mean, okay, the knight can move and defend, but then I take it. I could take it with a knight or a bishop, in fact. You know, this automatically loses. I don't know whether to check first or, you know, that's going to lose. And so he can't, I think queen d5 just wins. So turns out this is true. And now we're just going to quickly look at the best ways to convert this. Queen e7, that means I should take the knight. I did. He castled. I castled. Okay, he's setting me up. Okay, don't take the pawn. That's embarrassing. So I didn't do that. Instead, I played rook to e1. Probably fine. I'm noticing the computer's giving knight to g5. Wow. Okay, I did not consider this move, but I should have. That looks pretty annoying. Black would have to play g6. So I actually do like that move. Now that g6 is played and the dark square bishop's on an escapade, now I'm having some very nice dreams. So that's a good suggestion by the computer. Computer's good at that. Okay, so he played rook e8. I went bishop g5, developing with tempo, and queen f8. I was actually expecting this move, but I think queen f8's better. Yeah, this blocks the bishop, so queen f8. Yeah, and here, I was thinking about queen f4, and then I realized this might be a blunder because of here, here, here. Now, it turns out the sacrifice is actually really good, but I don't see the reason to do this. Well, maybe I do. It says take with a bishop, though. Oh, we're going to station our bishop on f6. That's the point. That's going to be checkmate. Okay. Well, I didn't look far enough to look at the sacrifice because, honestly, I think it's unnecessary here. I mean, the other move that you don't want to do is this. I thought bishop e6. Yeah, why allow that? I don't need to allow that, so I actually went queen c2 here. It's a little bit passive, but I'm up a piece. Okay, now bishop g4. I should probably just defend the knight, develop. He took it, which has to be not good, helping me coordinate. And his idea was to take the pawn, I guess, but okay. Yeah, now I'm just trying to trade, I think. So I'm probably not doing this the best way, but I really feel like I'm way ahead in this one. I have a piece and a better position as opposed to the other game where my position was lacking after I won material. And I'm not sure what this was. Again, tricky. I think saying, you know, if this is a blitz game, maybe this would work, but why can't I just take the knight? So I took it. Okay, rook, bishop takes rook, bishop takes rook. I was not afraid of trades. Okay, they win a pawn. Again, I think the trades are worth it. They took with the rook. Yeah, this is just totally winning, isn't it? I mean, I thought about just pawn hunting, but instead I did this because this is going to trade the rooks off. So he played here, and then he simply resigned. So there you go. Lack of foundation. And if you're a 1600 player and you're fearing that you might have a lack of foundation, I want to explain what I mean real quick. Okay, in a gambit, white usually sacrifices a pawn to get additional development or build a center, things like that. So c3, and now the bishop has moved 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, in the meantime, white's doing useful things. Like, this move looks silly, but guess what? It actually developed my bishop. I have access to a3. It also opened the b file for my rook, potentially. So it still has developing characteristics. So a move like knight f6 should only be paid after very careful consideration. Played. And in fact, I don't believe this is a book move at all. Usually black does take here, but then white castles, you know, in true gambit fashion, and then black has to play very carefully. And there's theory here, because black has to play correct moves or they lose. Like, for example, one thing I often see is knight g to e7, knight g5, and, you know, okay, I'm checking f7, and black says, okay, that's silly, I can castle. But guess what? Because black's so behind in development, I've got a lot of pieces attacking f7. I can play queen h5. That adds a third attacker there. And it threatens mate at the same time. So this is a common trick, you know. So after h6, we take here. And after this is actually winning. If here, we can just take. This is going to be winning. I have checkmate very soon. Like, that's checkmate, pretty sure. And if they go this way, we can simply retreat the bishop. Now we're threatening checkmate. This position's already lost. So in a gambit, you have to tread very carefully. And if you have a proper foundation, you know that. You know the relationship between tempos or turns, development, and making natural moves. So yeah, while knight f6 looks like a good move because, okay, you're developing your knight to its best square, you have to be more careful than that. You have to look at moves like this. It attacks the knight right away, the knight's gonna have to move. Okay, I mean, the pawn's just attacked twice. It's that simple. I think that's why black takes here. All right, so that's a foundational thing, and you know, 90% of the players that I play are not going to make a move like knight f6, but this player did. So if you are watching Hephaestus Garcia, I think you should maybe check out the book The Art of the Checkmate. That's the book that I'm using to build my foundation, and that is probably the reason that I won this game. So Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the impromptu lesson at the end there. So have a great day, and I'll be back with more chess. Hopefully I'll be back when I play my next game in Break 1700, but we'll see. Okay, bye.